information about the purpose, why it was created. And then I hand over to Silvio and Stefano for more technical and design details regarding the campus and its expansion plan. Just a few words about Zambon for you to have an idea of our company. It is a company which it is a chemical and pharmaceutical company which was created in Italy, founded in Italy in 1906. Now it's a group counting over 2,000 employees, 2,800 employees around the world. And we are present in 20 countries, and we commercialize our product in 87 countries around the world, with a revenue of 769 million in 2019. It's a family business, and we are now at the third generation. So the company was founded by the grandfather of the current shareholders. And approximately 20 years ago, so around year 2000, Zambon decided to give rise to Open Zone, which is a campus dedicated to health, located on the doorstep of Milano. You can see a graph here of our campus. Actually, works are underway, so we should take a new picture soon. But at least it gives you an idea. Why Zambon decided to create this campus? It decided to create a campus in order to give life to an entrepreneurial ecosystem within the life science sector. The life science sector is a sector which is continually challenged by innovation and by the scientific progress. And the idea to combine companies in the same place, companies sharing the same responsibilities of taking care of people's health, was at the basis of our project. And actually the campus was born in order to give life to collaboration, to exchange of information, sharing of experience among companies, as I said, which are sharing the responsibility of taking care of people's health. You can see now the render of the next expansion plan. With a mission, the mission that we defined, we redefined a couple of years ago in order to give focus on our activities. So the purpose of the campus is to uniquely create value in healthcare by fostering community competencies and capital. Today, the campus, it is home, and if you can go to the next slide, the campus is home to 27 companies, the majority of which are in the field of life sciences. We have just 3 or 4 in the ICT field. Among the companies that lives in our campus, there are pharmaceutical companies, first of all, but also biotech companies, and one company is dealing with cell and gene therapies. If you can go to the next one. Here you can find some information about a few of our companies, because as I said before, we are trying to foster a community. So we are not just renting spaces to these companies, but also we would like to provide, and we are actually providing services, different kinds of services for the people leaving the campus, but also services to the companies leaving the campus. And among these services, one thing that we are doing is also to give visibility to the companies of our campus that we call zoners. For example, we created a website, openzone.it, which tells actually the stories of the campus, and we also give visibility to their press release and emphasize the news regarding these companies. On top of that, there are services for people, and maybe Silvio can give more details afterwards, like for example a shuttle to reach the campus, or the gym to exercise, or the restaurant for all the companies in the campus. And also we organize events, regular events for people leaving the campus, and also inviting also external stakeholders, because the purpose is to create an enlarged community, also inviting people from university, and actually Chiara, we met Chiara in one of these recent meetings, with the university, with the finance community, with institutions also. So we regularly have meetings, like for example, in this picture, you can see a meeting we had a couple of years ago about the future of work with a journalist called Luca De Biase. And these are occasions where we meet among zoners, let's say the people living the campus, but also with external guests. We have regular events also involving, I don't know, the European Commission or other institutions. And we can switch to the next slide, please. And this is a way for us for keeping the campus alive and to have a regular occasion to exchange information and exchange experience among the different companies. Companies that span from big companies like, for example, Zambon, multinational companies, but also startups that maybe were born a few years ago, and they can take a lot of advantage in sharing information with others. And this is a very quick picture of our campus today. But the campus is changing its face because at the beginning of 2018, so a couple of years ago, we approved an investment plan of approximately 60 million in order to double the size of the campus. We are located in a very let's say, in a very good context, because Milano for Italy is the, let's say, top life science ecosystem. And the idea of positioning the campus at the doorstep of Milano is really a positive thing for us, because we can have really exchange with different stakeholders. So the idea now is to move to double the size of the campus, which means to move from our current 600 people working in the campus to 1,200 people in 2021. So we already started the works a couple of years ago, and we started actually with the new building, with the new headquarters for Zambon, which was completed last November, and it was also inaugurated last November. But the works are continuing, because now we are building 2 additional towers that will host other companies in the life science, always in the life sciences. So partly they will be occupied by offices, but above all, we will have new laboratories, also high technology laboratories for our sector. I think I have another one, another slide, Silvio. Okay, okay. This is the very last one. Just for reminding you that the purpose is also to having a leading role in the innovation and research in the life science sector, and that's why we position the campus on the doorstep of Milano. And also to position our campus as a place where research can be turned into enterprise. So we really are trying to create an entrepreneurial ecosystem, and that's why we also have an accelerator within our campus in order to help companies, and especially young startups, promising young startups, to grow up and scale. The first part of this investment plan, as I said, was the creation of the new headquarters of Zambon, which was completed last November. And we would like to give you some details about this project, which involved 2 renowned architects and designers, Michele De Lucchi and Carlo Ratti. And with this, I would like to hand over to Silvio, and then with Stefano for more details about this project.
Okay, thank you, Federica. Sorry for the slide.
No problem.
Very difficult to follow with the slide in remote control. Okay, so let's move to the life that Federica said is a new headquarter of the pharma company. Here you can find some renders about the building, and of course the building is built in the same way of these renders. The project of the exterior is Michele De Lucchi, and one of the most famous designer and architect of Italy. And here you can find his thought about workspace and building. And this is his idea about a conference room, a meeting room that he created in the building. About the interior design, we worked with Carlo Ratti. Carlo Ratti is a professor of MIT and important architect and engineer. And okay, this is his where his project starts. He wants to create a bridge between inside and outside, and how he created this with technology. He put digital platform or natural fragrances, natural light inside, or solar control for the spaces, climate comfort, and so he wants to create the inside in outside and move outside inside the workspaces. Here you find some renders about spaces. Near the window you can find a bench that run near windows, and where there are some shadows where desks are placed, and every desk is on wheels, and so we can change the layout, and we can put desk near teams when they have to work together. Other renders about spaces. This is the meeting area. Okay, you can work in this area during the coffee break, or you can only take coffee. This is an example of formal meeting room, different shape, different measure of meeting rooms, and here we have an example of informal meeting rooms. Okay, some numbers about the building. We have we have 4,000 square meters of working spaces, and in these spaces we have 150 fan coils, 3,000 square meters of glazed wall, 2,050 of steel, 70 kilometers of cables, 400 sensors for temperature, lighting, and others, 2,100 of reinforced concrete, 500 chairs, and 120 tables. Maybe Federica have something to say about the way we did it.
Yes, sure. So actually, we involved a lot of people, Zambon people, in the design phase of the new headquarters. And since we live in a campus where the purpose is to share experience and share knowledge among the different companies, of course, we need to do the same also within Zambon. We want to foster a way to work which is really voted to collaboration, and we wanted to have offices without barriers. So that's why it's a complete open space where also our CEO sits in a proper open space. And so the process started with interviews to the first line of the CEO, asking for feedback, suggestions, and their needs and expectations, let's say. And then we had also some workshop with the people, with the entire population living in the headquarters, which counts approximately 250 people. Together with the architect, Carlo Ratti, in charge of the interior design, and his team. And so actually we guided our colleagues through different sessions in order to collect their feedback and to get their hints. So we asked some questions about how do you like the space to be? How do you like the informal spaces to be designed? Also about the positioning of the location of the different functions. We collected all this feedback, and then the architect teams finalized the project and the design phase, and then we presented the project to all the people. At the very last point, before moving into the new building, we organized some tours in order to give an idea to touch the new building and the new offices before leaving them. And at the very a few days before the move, we also organized a workshop to give some tips and tricks in order to complete in a smart way the move. Because the majority of the people came from traditional offices. So everybody had their closed office with their desk and spaces and the cupboards, and a lot of things were to storage documents and materials. And moving to an open space where everybody had only a desk and little space to storage their documents and materials was a big change. So that's why we involved some experts, and we also invite people to attend this workshop. So this is in one slide. This gives you the overview of a project, of a change management project, actually, which took place last year and last approximately 6-7 months. If you want to continue with the next part.
Yes, thank you. Just 3 slides about new project, new generation. We are working on new offices, and here we have 3 renders about new spaces. As you can see, we are thinking about spaces in open space like Z-Life. Okay. Now I want to introduce Stefano, because we used BIM for making project on this building, and we are using BIM for the new towers, and Stefano is our expert of BIM, and I'm happy if he explaining you something about this system, this new project system.
Okay.
Stefano.
Thank you, Silvia and Federica. And I will try to explain what we have done and what we are doing with the BIM. So for us, BIM means building information modeling. That is very important for, let's say, for Zambon, because we use it for the maintenance phase. So to check all the data sheet of the object, let's say, for the warranty data, for the web links, and to understand who is the supplier. So we are working on the 6D dimension. So let's say the maintenance phase. And let's start with this part, that is the MEP system, so mechanical, electric, and plumbing system. This is just an export image of our model of Zeta Life. So you can see all the mechanical system, the air conditioning. Here there are some example of how we export data from the model, from all the objects. Here there are the air conditioning system, so with fan coil, you can see how we can export the data like dimension, weight, cost, the type of the supplier of these fan coils, the website, also the telephone number. So whatever you need for check your mechanical system and to the maintenance. Another example is you can see in this plan view. So you can easily check the pipe and valve system, also the fire safety system pipe, like you can better see in this slide in the 3D view. So all the data, the dimension, the type of insulation of the pipes, you can also understand from the color the kind of if there is hot water or cold water in this pipe. So also if there is the supplier of the return water. You can, another example, understand for us it's important, for example, check the domestic hot water system. So you can both see the data sheet and the operation manual that is useful for the maintenance or whatever you need to check it. And this is a video, simple video that explains how we work with BIM. So we model of the object of the building with Revit, that is an Autodesk software. Then we export in IFC, all the IFC files from Revit, we export in BIM 360, and that is this view. And from that, you can easily check and connect to a SharePoint cloud where we can, where we put all the information data and where all the workers can export and view that. So this is like a second example of the first one was a fan coil system. This is the mechanical air conditioning, let's say, equipment. You can check every component, also the duct, the pipes, the fan, the battery, and also the frequency of the maintenance. So if, for example, there are some components that have to be checked every year, every 6 months, it depends on what you're doing. And yes, this is like, also you can, it's important, you can use this service, let's say, from a mobile device, so from an iPhone. So the workers that are doing the maintenance can go inside the building and check from the maps where they are and see the mechanical system or the electrical system do what it's doing. Also, yes, you can see here the data, all the stuff. The second one is the electric system. So the same for the mechanical. This is an export view of the Zeta Life with all these electrical components. Just to see, you can export data for the light system, the normal light, the safety light, for example, and also the sensor that Silvio said before. So we are full of sensors in our buildings that check the temperature, if the position of the people, so if they are close to the tables, the lights turn on. So a lot of, let's say, components. And this last video is about the electric system. So just to see how we check it. And it's important to say, like, you can see from the video like how many objects we have in the model, and also how many data we have in our building. So it's a huge amount of data that we are using for our operation. Here you can see the datasheet of this light, that is Archimedes, so we know the supplier, the website, whatever. The third part is about let's say we start with the mechanical, with electrical, and with the pipe system. This part is about the architecture part, so like the flooring system. Like here we can check, we can see the cost for the square meter of each flooring. So we have different flooring in different part of the building, so we can easily check also the, let's say, supplier website, but in this case the square meter cost. Also the maintenance stuff, like the structure of the flooring, because it's a floating floor in this case, and the finishing. The last but not the least, the furniture, because it's important for us, because maybe sometimes people move from an office to another one. So with the BIM, you can check what he was using, the furniture, what kind of chair he was using. If we need to buy a new one, we can just click on the object, go on the website and check how it costs and buy a new one. So yes, that's all. I did it very fast, I know. So, but if you have any questions, we are here to answer. And,
thank you very much. Thank you all, Stefano, Silvio, and Federica, for your great presentations. It was super interesting, and I have questions for all of you, I think. But I would like first to see if there are any questions from our participants. I think also that, curiously, your presentation was fitting perfectly with the topics that we faced earlier today in our lectures. So we talked about spatial design, we talked about the change management. So this was really perfect. So let's see if we have questions in the meantime. Otherwise, I can start asking. So from the end of your presentation. So regarding this BIM, I'd like to understand if you have integrated it with, so you talked about maintenance, so the people that can, let's say facility managers, operators that can visualize this information through their mobile apps. But I was wondering if you also integrated it with, or you're going to do it with augmented reality for maintenance operations, because I think that this is a very interesting perspective in the development of facility management, maintenance, and all these kind of very practical operations on all the building plans. And
yeah, I think that maybe we could improve this part, the augmented reality, but we're also thinking about if it's useful for let's say for the facility manager, or maybe is more used for during the design phase, not for the maintenance phase. But I also think about this part, so you're right. And my answer is yes. We are talking.
Yes,
we're
yes,
thinking
yes.
about this kind of augmented reality, but like in very.
Yeah, I mean, as a future perspective. Yeah, I know. I mean, this is
Yeah.
something not yet super common.
Yeah.
I would say. So it's a kind of an experimental stage still.
Yeah.
So, but I think it's very interesting, and keep me informed if you go on with this project, because I would like to know more about it. So thank you. And also another information, I mean, I understand that maybe this is not your focus at the moment, but are you thinking about integrating also data from sensors that detect the occupancy, utilization of spaces, this kind of stuff? Maybe you already have them in place.
We could improve it. That some of these we have already did it because, like for example, the meeting room, we have like sensor that check if the meeting room is available or not. And in our project, we have also in well, our let's say our goal is to improve this beam whatever we can, as much we can, as much as we can, and so I think that take data from all the sensor could be a very interesting things that we are also thinking about, and
yes, we can use the data for understand which meeting rooms is more useful or more used from people or where people pass or walk in the building, and so we can understand why they walk in that place, or why someone don't use some meeting rooms or some meeting place, and so we can use a huge data from sensors.
Yes, of course. No, that's great, and I think that one of the big challenges now is to really try to put together all these different information that we store in different places and make sense of it thanks to the integration of all this data. But of course, it's something that is complex and deserves a lot of effort and time dedicated to it. So good that you are, I mean, you have this in mind, and slowly you will try to develop these activities. Fantastic.
Also, if I can say the last thing, we are using the BMS, so Building Management System,
sure,
in Zeta Life. So with all these sensors that we have, they give us like a signal of an error or something wrong. And our next step will be to connect this kind of data with the model. So these are how they can be connected.
Fantastic. Very, very good intuitions, and good luck with this integration process, because I guess it's not that easy.
Oh.
Okay, then should I continue with my questions, or is anyone else maybe interested in participating?
Yes, I have one question regarding this.
Please.
And one suggestion. This is my thesis topic. So it is like we are using AI robots for cleaning.
Do you want to turn on your camera, maybe?
No, it's like in my camera is some technical problem. It is not working.
Ah, okay. So please.
So AI, artificial intelligence robots, we can use it for the cleaning of floor and office spaces. So we can interlink this with our plan, the robots, the BIM plan.
Yes.
Yeah, and one more idea is like utilities consumption for electricity consumption, how it is consuming every day. So we have to store this data longer time, like 2 to 3 years. So with that, we can know at what time we are using high peak and low peak of electricity, so that we can reduce the utility charges also. Electricity around, I have studied some research papers regarding this. We can save around 15% to 20% of electricity. We can use this technology.
Great.
So I have these two questions. So it's like suggestions are, I don't know what to say.
Okay, so your first question is if they are using artificial intelligence for cleaning, integrating these different like sensors and the BMS and this kind of
Yes.
stuff.
Yes.
And the second regards the
Utilities.
okay,
We can use sensor for the utilities, how we are using electricity, water consumption.
yeah, exactly.
So we can interlink this with BIM.
Yeah, I think it will be the next step. Really.
Yeah.
Because the artificial intelligence should be like it's not easy to do now.
Yeah, it's already in the France. They started one company, Fibots. They already started this artificial intelligence robots. It's like automatically they will give the plan to the robots, so it will clean every day. It's like timing. Like we can set the time at what time we wanted to clean the floor. It's like yes, it already started in the France. One company started Fibots. I don't know. It's like.
Okay, nice.
Yeah,
if you want to share maybe the links, some links or some documents that you have about these experiences, and maybe it's interesting, these cases, and maybe it's interesting to share with Zambon.
Okay, thank you. I'll share it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I had another couple of questions just about less technical issues and more like human environment relation, let's say. So you mentioned your change management strategy. I think it was very interesting to see how you developed different activities involving different stakeholders. I was wondering whether you involved external consultants in these activities, or you just relied on your internal resources to mediate between the company, let's say, issues, requirements, etc., and the architects, because I know that it's not that easy sometimes to bring them together and create something meaningful and coherent.
Yeah.
And I was wondering also if, in order to facilitate this process, you made use of briefing documents. So, like, I mean, documents where you formalized all these kind of interactions, and you set the goals, and you outlined the strategy and the design. And in what phases eventually you used these documents? Thank you.
Okay. Maybe I answer and then Silvio can integrate if he wishes. Yes, we did use. We collaborated with external consultants in the phase of. In the change management process, and especially in the first phases and the very last one. So. In order to collect the desire and the expectation about of the people, we worked with the person who facilitated the workshop and helped us to gather the information that were necessary. Of course, we did a teamwork because also the architect team was involved. So we worked as a team in order to focus the attention of the people on the key topics, but also on topics that were in fact concrete, because we didn't want the book of the dreams and to collect things that we would never do. So we actually asked for very concrete feedback on a number of topics that were agreed with the architects.
Great.
And at the end of the process, we again involved a person, an expert in quality management, for the workshop on the tips and trips for the move. And again, we focused the workshop, which was half a day or something more, but not very long workshop, on a few topics. And we organized it with these experts and with the team of the architects. We use some formal sheets and also some ways to collect some interviews, structured interviews, to collect the input from the people. So yes, I think we can say we use some formal documents in both phases, on the let's say listening phase, and also on the phase in which we helped people for having a smart move.
Great. Okay. Thank you.
Welcome.
Anything else from the audience? Maybe I can ask the last question, the very last one that I think could be useful for the groups in finalizing the elaboration of their concepts for Vodafone Workplace. So I like the open zone name, and that sounds like a motto almost, and also how you declined it into like Z Life, etc. So I was curious to know how it was created, and I mean, yes, how this also translates, because I think it translates very well into your spaces also. So
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was not there, but maybe Silvio has some information. I have some. Do you know?
Top secret. Top secret.
No, top secret. So, do you know something about how the name was chosen, or?
That was a brainstorming between different people inside the company, and I can say one of the one of the sister.
Okay, one of the shareholders. Okay, chooses the name, but I think open zone. I think because everything is conceived towards an open innovation approach. So the idea to remove barriers also between other companies, because you can invest billions in research and innovation, but in our field, in the life science sector, you need to exchange information and exchange experience also with other companies, in order to be always up to date and keep up with the scientific progress and innovation. So I think the word open comes from there. And also, I guess there is, I mean, if you take the capital letter open and zone, so O and Z, it reminds the magician of Oz.
Right.
Yeah, so there was also a link with this story. In order to, I mean, to make new, I mean, the idea is, as I said, to turn research into enterprise. So we have no barriers also in dreaming a future with a better health for everybody, and I think the magician can help us.
Thank you. That's really fascinating and inspiring. I like it. Very well. So thank you so much, Stefano, Silvio, and Federica. You were fantastic. I'm very happy that we met at your event, and so we started our for now virtual collaboration, but who knows in the future.
Right. we're wondering how the works will be in the future, and so you can help us a lot on that.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so I wish everyone a good evening, and of course with the group we'll see each other tomorrow, and with you I wish you a good summer, because I hope I won't see you anymore before like you get some break and some vacation.
Yeah, sure, and we wait for you whenever you want to visit the campus. personally.
As soon as possible. As soon as possible.
Okay. Thank you very much for the invitation.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
evening. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye
Bye bye.
bye.
Bye bye.